Hey y'all, I know I'm posting this really late at night. I know that this is not being posted till like 9:30 p.m. But you're probably wondering why no podcast came out today. And we've been doing a podcast every single Friday for a year now. And the day after the year episode, you don't have a podcast. I'm really sorry. I actually forgot to do one Wednesday. And then Jackson, actually, I wasn't gonna tell you guys until the podcast, but Jackson broke his hand. He broke 4 of his fingers. So he didn't break his hand, but he broke 4 of his fingers sledding. We were gonna do it Wednesday. He was feeling fine, but turns out that he was getting surgery Thursday, which is yesterday. He wasn't feeling so hot, right? So yeah, he wasn't feeling so hot, and he couldn't do a cast, which really sucks. I was gonna maybe try to have a guest host, which I thought would be a new thing. Instead of a guest, it would be a guest co-host. So, like, I could have one of my friends, or I wasn't thinking of having my dad on, but not as a guest. My dad would be my fellow co-host for the episode. I was not doing that. So the podcast is off the air until further notice. I know this is a pretty huge thing, because usually whenever I say the podcast is off the air until further notice, it means it is being canceled indefinitely, which is what has happened with my solo podcast, or not my solo podcast, but it's happened with my podcast with my mom. We don't know what to call this podcast, and then the terrific and the talented and terrific 2 podcasts I did with my dad. Both of those were pretty much like, I can play with the brightness. That's cool. Both of those, when I said that, were canceled. But this podcast is not being canceled, but it is officially off the air until further notice. I know. See, I don't have OCD, but that's what I call it. Like, because I'll wrap up in a second. It's like pisses. It's not. I'm not mad, but it's like annoying that I can't do an episode because it triggers my OCD. But I don't. And it's not actually. It's just like kind of what I call it. No one can spray my fragrance without me getting like super mad. So, yeah, just really sorry we couldn't get an episode in. And who knows? Jackson could be feeling shitty next week, and it'll still be off the air. My dad, Jackson got pins in his hand, like metal rods, so his bones can form good. And my dad said when he broke his leg and was recovering, it was really bad, but when he got the pins and the metal, then when he had to recover, it was terrible. And it took him a while. It took him a good few weeks until he wasn't like in terrible pain, even though the painkillers only lasted a little bit and they weren't great. So, we'll hopefully be back on the air soon. There's Teddy. And yeah. I hope to see you guys next week for episode 53. I know we did the full year episode last week, which is pretty cool, but...
Can I eat your fish? Like a little bit?
No, you can't. Sorry. So yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna do a VR with Teddy. I'm having a sleepover, and I'll catch you guys soon. So sorry about this. We are off the air until further notice. We should be back up and running again March 11th, but if not, the 18th for sure. All right, see you guys. Peace.